What is up, everybody? My name is Scott, and this is the SpoilerCast episode 5, 6, 7, one of those ones. I'm sure when I go onto YouTube and check which video this is, that will definitely help me. So, I'm running through some grass at the moment, and that is very fitting, because this is a game about exploring jungles, and it's called Uncharted Drake's Fortune. And if you don't know, this isn't, it's a podcast kind of in a way, but it's not really. It's just kind of the name of something that I thought I'd make, because I thought I'd make a list of things and then I would talk about things in games while spoiling them. And so there's a cast also, and the cast is me, and my name is Scott, and this is Uncharted Drake's Fortune, which is part of the Uncharted collection, and it's a really good game, as I said before, because there's grass and there's all sorts of leaves and things, and I'm going to be playing it on easy today because I just finished it on crushing, and I've been crushed thoroughly by that adventure, and so I thought I would play it on an easy, kind of, water jogging like pace, kind of like what's happening right now. Yeah, so I would say I played this game before. Obviously I played it a long time ago, but because the collection's out and I'm playing it again, and I thought usually, the logical thing to do would be to start at the first one, and after completing it on crushing, I can definitely see that was the logical thing to do, because of course this is the very first game, and it is a game that came out in 2007, and it came out to much fanfare, because Naughty Dog are obviously a pretty talented studio, and all the stuff in the game is pretty different to what... Can I shoot this? Can I shoot this bird? Jesus. No, I can't, but I can make it fly away. Everything in the game is very different to how games used to be. And this part was involving motion control before, but it's not anymore, which is one of the things that was new to the game. So, after I've bumbled around a little bit, let's just talk about how things kind of... Why does the gun feel so slow? It feels like I'm shooting... a train that's departing a station every hour. That's how slow it feels. So, obviously, everything such as this foliage, which is very lush, everything looks really, really beautiful. There's lots of cool lighting. The animation's obviously very smooth and realistic. That's something, and games really weren't, because of animation sort of, difficulties, or I don't want to say difficulties, but less advanced tech and stuff. The animation before the PS3 wasn't so great, so obviously here we're seeing a lot of awesome rolls and realistic sort of jumps, and then there's lots of climbing involved as well. Shooting is also pretty smooth, but I think it's something that they've definitely made a lot smoother for the they've made it a lot smoother for the remaster, because I think it's in 60 frames per second. I think I'm not making that up. So 60 frames per second has done well by this. I think it feels pretty nice. I don't know how it's showing up on the recording, but for me, it feels pretty nice. I'm enjoying it thoroughly. I like the way he moves. I like the way he's able to roll. I like that. I just feel like there's no kind of frame skip or anything, although it's kind of a bit blurry sometimes. It's not as smooth as Metal Gear Solid 5. Check out that other video that's on my channel about Metal Gear Solid 5 and see how smooth that game is. But back to this game. I think that with the remaster, they've improved the lighting and maybe draw distance a little bit. Though over there it looks a bit old still. But I think that the lighting effects are pretty amazing, and the way that they've touched up the visuals a lot. I feel like these rocks are pretty rock-like. The moss is pretty moss-like. The grass is nice, as I said before, and I said that's why the game was called Uncharted. Apart from the grass being really nice, the visuals in the game are kind of same-ish throughout the entirety of the game. And I've also noticed, this isn't really a criticism on this game, I guess, but on Golden Abyss, which is the Vita Uncharted, I would say that the colors and the sections of the game are almost identically in sequence, which is not really, as I said, a criticism of this game, just kind of an observation maybe, I don't know, just maybe it goes towards the simplicity of the textures or the type of environments that are being used. So yeah, I think that they reuse green a lot. Obviously, it's set in one location, which is a downside to the game in comparison to the other two. One of the many reasons, I guess, that this is the weakest Uncharted of the series, at least the console ones anyway. You just kind of go around from oh, my controller is running out of charge. You just kind of go from, I guess, like boat to jungle to temple to jungle to temple to sort of nice kind of grey sort of castle to then to a jet ski and then to back to a sort of ruin again. You know, it's kind of just like jungle ruin. You get the idea. I don't need to keep saying those words over and over again for you to understand what I mean. You can probably pick that up on your own. This would be a mixture of the two, jungle and ruin. Come on, you bitch. Okay, yeah. So this would be a nice mixture of the two, which is kind of just why I prefer the other ones. They're a little bit more like globe-trotting adventures, whereas in this one we're kind of on the same island. But you know, it's a logical place for the original starting point of the series to take place. You know, you don't want to blow your load all in one go, I guess, even though that term is frankly a little bit disgusting. I don't really like it, but I said it anyway. I said it because of a lack of... Oh god. Would you reload? There. Thank you for standing very close to that red barrel, senor. Thank you. Oh god, no. Didn't mean to do that. I was trying to hit circle. Or, I hit circle, I was trying to hit square. Come here. Yeah, I might actually use this gun to get some of the trophies, or get the trophy that requires the use of this gun. Speaking of guns, that's a cleverly placed segue, I guess. The shooting mechanics. I guess a lot of people seem to have they have some trouble with the shooting. They don't really like it. It seems like in this one it's pretty okay. I think it's something to do with it being so shaky all the time. Whereas I think in this one it feels like I don't feel like it's shaking around too much, which is nice, I guess. I mean, it means that I can shoot people efficiently. I can kill. Can I don't have to shoot the lock on this one. This one's already blown to hell. How did I not kill that man? This is easy, and it's right in front of him. Jesus, I'm gonna die. There. How did that man not die? Ridiculous. I'm gonna die. So yeah, the shooting feels a little bit more smooth, just like everything. That's the theme of this episode. I think the last episode the theme was something else. I said, well, the theme of this game is this, and then I kept saying it over and over again, being very repetitious and so forth. But the theme of this one is smoothness, I suppose. Yeah, see, like I think like recoil is maybe an issue that people had. I've never really experienced it. Maybe I'm not such a video game shooting savant to be able to tell, but I think it feels alright. When you pirates... Oh god, that was very lucky. Yeah, that guy said lucky at the same time. We must be getting married soon. Come here, please. Marry me. We must be a match made in heaven. Oh god, I'm gonna die. Sorry. I had to kill my beloved. Come on, beloved. It's okay. I'll destroy your body so no one can desiccate it afterwards. Come on. So, speaking of desiccating bodies, Nathan Drake is a bit of a murderer, which obviously it's a pretty lighthearted story, and you know, we're running around, being a real rapscallion. I'm such a cowboy. I don't know why I'm being a pirate, but I guess he's a bit of a bandit, which is kind of the same thing as a pirate, I guess. Is this the way to go? Yeah. He's a bit of a bandit. He's running around. He's got his holster on. He's got a really dirty shirt. He's got kind of baggy jeans on. He's not the most fit man. And so, oh god, that was a big jump. And so I think, what am I even talking about? Right, he's a fit man. Oh, he kills people, yes. So he's running around like a cool guy that doesn't really care about anything. He's lighthearted, he's carefree, he's hopping over big ditches like that one, and then he's just doing this, walking up to people and just blowing them away with shotguns, which is not something that a sort of carefree man would be doing, I don't think. Which is a bit odd, considering that it's so much emphasized within the game. Like, it's just like, yeah, sure, kill this guy, kill that guy, kill all these guys. It doesn't even matter, and he's just not affected by anything, which is a little bit strange. You think that he'd be having like horrible nightmares or, you know, PTSD, flashbacks maybe from all of these thousands of people. I mean, there are literally trophies in the game that you can collect for killing 50 people with a type of gun. You see, look, he can make a quip every now and again. He can make a funny joke, but at the same time, he's also a mass murderer. And I mean, he kills a lot of people in this game. Don't know, holy shit! Did not expect to make that jump, but kills a lot of people. But in the other two games, he also kills a lot of people, so that's 3 times the amount of people that he's killed. And how old is this man? 30? Why isn't this man being arrested? Why is there no sort of inquiry into his mental state? That's what I want to know. That's really what I would like to know. Look at that. He's shooting men over waterfalls. That man didn't fall over the waterfall, but the first one did. He's in the water now. His dead body is floating in this water with blood just coming out of it, and he's running around, happy as Larry, happy as, oh my god, oh, now he's dead. Look at that. He wouldn't have died. I don't think he would have died there. The deaths are sometimes really annoying, and the lack of checkpoints at times are also frustrating as well. That's another few points off this first game. What else about this game? What else? Apart from him being a mass murderer, he's also a fun guy, which is definitely a juxtaposition between the way he acts and the way he acts some other times, because some of the other times he's really cool and, oh god, please don't fall off that. Oh Jesus. Okay, so he's a really cool guy, and he's got cool friends such as Sully and Elena, and they're nice people as well, and he's hanging around with them, and he's trying to fall off waterfalls, but he's back up again. And yeah, I think that the camaraderie between the characters is obviously awesome. There's lots of jokes. I think that basically it feels kind of like, I thought about this the other day, and it just kind of feels like they're old friends to myself. I mean, obviously those characters are old friends, but it just feels kind of homely or something to return to these games once again and play them. I think that the second and third ones, they capitalize on that sort of feeling, but this one in particular just sets it up as a really fun tale where, you know, everybody's gonna get out alive. Obviously they send some curveballs your way, which I'll get to in a second, but yeah, I think that it's just really easy to play these games over and over again. It's like a really good movie. The Mummy Returns is a movie like that for me, which is kind of similar to this. This is kind of like The Mummy Returns. You could see Brendan Fraser, albeit a younger Brendan Fraser, playing Drake in a movie. So The Mummy Returns is a movie that's kind of like that. It's just sort of one that I can return to over and over again without getting sick of it, and I'm always going to love the characters, and I'm always going to love the adventures that they've been on. But having said that, the story in the first one, much like the different environments and stuff, the fact that the fact that it's only set on this one island, it's kind of a simplistic story, and that there are not many plot threads, and then the villains are kind of simplistic. There aren't many really twists and turns, I wouldn't say, and the twists and turns that are there are definitely not that great, I would say. There's the twist where you think Sully's dead when clearly he wasn't going to die. Like, you didn't see him die. He just fell down. He got shot and then he fell down because he was in pain. That was kind of what was happening there. And Drake kind of just took that as face value that Sully was dead. I didn't really believe that. And then the other instances where you think that Sully has betrayed you for like 5 minutes, and then you're just, oh yeah, I got a trophy. So you think that Sully's betrayed you. I don't know if you can see the trophies popping up, but it was the one for getting 250 headshots, which is good. I was trying to get that trophy. So, yeah, the trope of like the best friend betraying the protagonist or whatever, they kind of played around with that a little bit, and I feel like they do that in the other games with a lot of other characters as well. Some of them actually do betray Drake, like Chloe and what's his face, Harry. They betray him. Sorry, also, I should say that there are going to be spoilers for this game. Maybe I should have told you that earlier, but you know what, this is a 7-year-old game. I'm sure a lot of people that are playing this are only playing it because they're revisiting it. You know, it shouldn't be too much of a problem, but I'll put spoilers in the description anyway, so that should help you. So yeah, they play around with that trope a little bit, and I don't think it really works. It feels kind of forced. It feels like they're kind of forcing dramatic sort of substance into the game, which I don't really like that much. Like, I don't think, because of it becomes more apparent with the later games, but you would never think that Sully would betray Drake in that way ever, because of all the stuff that they've been through. You know, essentially Sully's raised him into the man that he is. Like, I don't for a second think that he would betray his trust like that, so it just kind of comes off as false. The villains as well, I said that they're not that great. They're kind of one-sided and like kind of cliched. It just sort of reminds me of the main guy, Roman in particular, kind of reminds me of Belloc from Indiana Jones. He's just sort of like an evil European man that's trying to steal some treasure, and then it kind of backfires on him and he turns into a horrible melted zombie at the end of it, which is kind of what happens in Indiana Jones. And then Navarro is kind of a shitty Spanish guy with like a generic, maybe slightly racist Spanish accent, where sometimes he barks orders in Spanish. Like, he says like some words that people would probably know, just to I don't know, simplify his native roots or something like that. I don't know. He's just a little bit false. The other villain as well, Eddie Raja, is a bit like he's a bit dumb as well. He's just sort of a jokey kind of angry character, which you can't really take seriously as a villain, which is maybe the point, but at the same time he's not that entertaining to watch. He's just sort of annoying, really. He's a bit like if a frog was coming up to you and he was like, hey, give me those flies, those are my flies, and you really, I don't like flies, but if you really like the flies, then the frog was trying to take them off you probably wouldn't be too happy. He's a bit like that, only a human man that's some sort of race, I guess. I'm not really sure what his race is, because he doesn't speak English. Well, he does speak English, actually. That is utter bullshit. He does speak English, but he doesn't speak Spanish, is what I meant to say. Nor does he speak a native language, which I am familiar with. So that the reference to his native homeland is completely lost on me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Naughty Dog. You obviously did some research into some sort of indigenous language when you created that guy, but I've no idea at all. So that is what I feel about that character. That is, what am I doing? Okay, I've got this gun. There should be grenades here. My grenades are full. I can't even pick up any more grenades. I'm sorry that I went on a rant about Eddie Raja for far too long. That was maybe a little bit unnecessary. I'm sorry I missed your death. That's unfortunate. This poor man died in a spectacular fashion, and I didn't even get to see it happen because I was talking about Eddie Raja, which I feel like that character has taken up too much of our time in this discussion, so I'm going to move on from him now. I hope that's okay. I just realized that there's a horrible buzzing on the microphone, and so I'm going to have to cut this episode short, but in awesome fashion, yeah, I was talking about the climbing being shit. Well, that's what I was going to talk about. Not shit, but just kind of unrefined at places, which is it's a bit frustrating. Don't really like that. Oh god. Oh well, I died there. Basically, yeah, frustrating. Enemies kind of crappy, as in the villains. Awesome, very smooth, looks really nice. That guy's dead. Sully, Drake, Elena, all really cool guys. I'm I'm not able to trigger that anymore. They're all really cool guys, especially Drake. He's awesome. Supernatural thing at the end, also kind of cool. Not really a fan of supernatural stuff in sort of grounded worlds like this one, but it's okay because Drake's a murderer anyway, so nothing really makes sense. So thanks very much for watching. Subscribe, do all that sort of stuff. Blah blah blah. Thanks. Goodbye.